An incredible number of our problems today come from a mistaken view of the role of government. Indeed, God designed government, and He gives it to us for very specific purposes, like punishing evildoers and protecting those who do good. The government is a minister of God, whether those running the government know it or not. But in today's world, many have turned government from a servant of God into a false god itself. It's become an idol, to which many turn to provide all of their needs, wants, rights, and affirmation. A distorted view of government leads to either tyranny or anarchy. So what do we Christians do to make things right? How do we contribute to returning government to its proper function? Let me share with you 3 specific things. First, we must be actively involved in the process and encouraging other Christians to be as well. We must come alongside Christian political candidates with our support, our prayers, and our votes. We desperately need more men and women in government declaring that Jesus is Lord and fewer declaring that Caesar is Lord. Support, encourage, and pray for those Christian leaders in public office. The second thing we must do is reject the contemporary claim of the separation of church and state. If there was any wall of separation that our founders envisioned, it was simply to keep the state out of the church. It was certainly not to keep Christians and their principles out of the state. We have historical precedent on our side. We have 2,000 years of the Church of Jesus Christ advancing the Christian worldview in government and politics. It has led to the advancements of the Western world, including the founding of America on God-given rights. The state is God's minister, which means it's up to us Christians to tell it what its role is. And the third thing we must do is declare the lordship of Jesus Christ over every earthly power. If Jesus is Lord and He is sovereign, that means He is not only sovereign over the church, but He is sovereign over all things. We need to declare His lordship not just on Sunday morning in church, but over every earthly power, including the state. Because when we give over the state to unbelieving paganism, everyone suffers. We have plenty of case studies to show what happens when the church fails to declare the lordship of Christ. We have well over a century of the advancement of communism and socialism. They promised utopia, but only delivered 100 million deaths in the regimes of China and the Soviet Union, among others. A growing godlessness in America declared the killing of 60 million children in the womb a cherished right. You see, a purely secular state that fails to recognize the lordship of Jesus Christ in the public square will only eventually lead to the degrading of human life, to corruption and tyranny, to the erosion of freedom, and to death. But the Spirit of Jesus Christ brings life and freedom.